Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexalex here for another live stream to play in some more WCQ second stage. Now again, I'll remind everybody that I'm not really making a very serious go of it at all. I'm mostly just using this opportunity to practice some decks that I don't normally play, but we're still having fun regardless. What's up, Transvamp? Before Dawn? Hello, Jojo, as well as everybody else who is hanging out. Hope we are all doing well today. I'm doing pretty well myself. Yesterday we had a lot of fun playing Memento, and we're probably going to end up playing some more Memento, but yeah, I'm going to move my mic just a little bit. There we go. Okay. But I wanted to record some more YouTube footage, some more build and plays. I think we're gonna do Primite, Fiendsmith Control, and Punk. I know I said yesterday that we were probably gonna do Blue Eyes, but I'm not really feeling Blue Eyes, if I'm being totally honest. We might still do it at some point, but what's up, Toadette? Okay. So yeah, like I said, I think we're gonna just start with Primite, Fiendsmith Control, and then Punk, and then we'll probably just mess around with Memento a little bit more. I hope that sounds good to everybody. Yeah, it'll be a build and play for the first two decks, so we'll be throwing them together live here. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna get started with it, not waste any more time, and just hop right on in. So, as always, when we're in recording mode, I won't be responding directly to chat quite as much, but recording mode is usually just the first, like, hour and a half or so, or an hour and a half or so of the stream. So, and of course we'll be taking breaks in between. If we get follows, subs, and all that fun stuff, I'll make sure to shout you out at the... Actually, you know what? That's a good idea. I should start doing that. At the end of the video, anybody who, like, followed or subbed while I was recording, I'll shout you out during the, as we're wrapping up the end of the video. But, yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and get started here. So, all right. Hang on, let me make sure. I want to minimize everything. Here we go. Okay. Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexalex here. Got another Master Duel video for you. Another build and play here in WCQ 2025 weekend. This time we're going to be tackling Primite Fiendsmith Control. A deck that has been honestly changing and growing ever since Primite came into the game. And there's been some kind of recent developments with lists that I've been noticing. So I'm gonna hop right on in. We're just gonna get started right off the bat. For those watching on YouTube, as always with the build and plays, I am also currently live streaming this. So even if you're watching this on YouTube in the future, you know, you could also have been watching it as is being recorded. The way to do that is to check out the either twitch.tv/hexalexlive or even here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to get notifications of when I go live. I typically do it on the weekends. I don't usually have set schedules, but I do it at least once or twice a week. So anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and get right on into this. So we're gonna start with Primite stuff. We're definitely gonna want 3 Lordly Load, 3 Ether Barrel. I'm gonna start with 1 Drill Beam and 1, actually I'll start with 2 Roar, but numbers on these could change, could go up to 3, could go down to 1 on the Roar. Could go up to 2 for the Drill Beam potentially, but I really think even in this deck you only need the 1. So we're just going to start with that. And now we're going to move on to all the Fiendsmith stuff should be over here. But you know what? I know there's some Fiendsmith cards that I don't necessarily have bookmarked that we're going to play, namely the Fiendsmith in Paradise. I actually don't normally play this in a lot of Fiendsmith decks, but this is definitely one where you do want it. So same with Ognum Day. You know, when this card first came out, I had a lot of people asking why I wasn't playing it in stuff like Snake Eye and Yubel. I don't think this card is bad in decks like those inherently, but I also really don't think you have the extra deck space in decks like those. So I think that this is more the style of deck where you want something like Fiendsmith's Ognum Day. You know, I will say, even though I've got the Royal Rextremend, I actually don't think you need it in Control. I mean, you could still make an argument for playing it, and I might still play it just because it's royal, but I could also see cutting this if we need more extra deck space. We'll definitely want 2 Requiem for sure. And I'll take a full playset of Tract. Again, might end up cutting down on these, but of course we want the Lurie as well. Yeah, agreed. Rex is a pretty nice option, but is mostly used in White Forest more than anything else, just for setting up plays by discarding a spell or a trap card that does trigger White Forest effects. So like I said, we probably will end up cutting this from our extra deck for Primite Fiendsmith control, but I'll leave it in here just for the time being. Let's put in those Bestial monsters next. We're going to do Magnum Hut. I usually prioritize a couple of Druistorm and a couple of Baldrake before Saronir, but I could see us playing a Saronir here as well. The Lubellians, and then we'll also definitely play the Regained, for sure. And that's pretty much like going to be the bulk of our engine there, if not all of it. We do, of course, also need our normal monster, which will naturally end up being Dippity. Now for the hand traps, in that we could play a potential another vanilla in the form of Psyframe Driver. This is kind of what I mean when I say that there's been some updates as far as the deck here goes, right? Because I noticed a lot of builds in the past were playing 2 vanillas. Of course, like Josh Schmidt was on Dippity plus Summon Skull, Beast of Tower also being an option there, Wattail Dragon if you prefer having dragons to go into spheres, which I preferred. But I've noticed lately a lot of builds are just playing the one Dippity, and that's their only vanilla. And I definitely see that. I could definitely understand wanting to only play one vanilla. That said, there are definitely pros to playing a second vanilla, in that you have more stuff to pull from the deck. As chat mentioned, it is definitely better with the Roar as well, particularly the Graveyard effect, right? Because obviously with 0 attack monster, you don't really get the Graveyard effect, but the Driver does have 2,500 attack points, as do pretty much all those other monsters I mentioned before. But if I am going to play a second vanilla, it's probably just going to end up being the Driver. There is, I agree, also an argument that we might not need quite so many Bestials. I could easily see us potentially cutting down on these as well. But let's put in the rest of our hand traps and stuff first. Kind of want to start filling out the extra deck here a little bit. We could definitely start looking at some rank 6s, right? Kind of have all 3 of them right here. The big ones anyway. Ptolemy, M7, Caesar, and Lars, for sure. Also, we do, of course, want the Moon of Closed Heaven as part of the Fiendsmith package here. We like SP, of course, we're going to take that. We like Appaloosa in a deck like this for sure. Gives us an option to go into with our Fiendsmith stuff. Off the top of my head, I don't know if there's anything... Oh, Spheres. I definitely do want a Spheres in here because we have enough Bestial monsters for it. This, I think, is cuttable depending on how many Bestials you're playing, but for the amount we're playing, I think that Spheres is pretty good. And I mean, just Typhone for now, but this is like hugely subject to change. We could very easily end up throwing something else in here. I probably will end up going over to, what do you call it? Going over to Untapped here in a second just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, let's do the rest of our hand traps here. Or just our hand traps in general. Well, I guess Bestials are hand traps. Either way. So we're going to do Maxis, of course. I'm going to do Ash Blossoms. I'm going to do at least one Nib, but I could easily see us playing another. We'll do a couple of Imperms. I actually kind of want a second Nib right off the bat, not going to lie. Yeah, how many is this so far? 1, 2, 3, that's 5, 7, 9. With room for 3 more would make 12. That is the number I prefer. Oh, and then also the Bestials. That's 12, not even including the Bestials. Let's do, like, maybe a couple of Drolls and a Ghost Ogre. Chat is pointing out that we do need Necroquip, so I think I will include that. Also, as an aside, Blaze, congrats on the top 30 in A. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, it's time to take Rex Tremend out. Let's put in Necroquip. Alright, so this is how we're looking initially, and I don't hate this, but I just want to double check and make sure I'm not forgetting anything like hugely vital here. Okay. Oh, Chaos Angel. We definitely want that. That's pretty much the only thing I really want for the extra deck, and I think we could pretty easily find a slot here. We don't need like all of these rank 6s by any means. I think Lars is probably the most cuttable. I really like Lars though. Lars, I will say, it's kind of win more. Like, it usually comes up on turn 1 if you have a really good turn 1, but you don't need to have that good of a turn 1 to win with this deck. It's kind of one of the strengths of it, is that it's kind of like as good going first or second. Lars, I think, is probably the most cuttable card here. Yeah, I think it is. I think Chaos Angel is definitely going to be better. As for the main deck... yeah, we're mostly looking pretty good here. Looks like most builds make room for a couple of Veilers, which definitely makes sense to prioritize Veiler because of the fact that we're playing Bystials. I kind of don't think we need as many Bystials as we're playing. Why am I playing Saronir? Let's cut Saronir, and then I'll play a second Veiler. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 hand traps, not including Bystials, which I like. This is solid. I'm just looking over it and seeing if there's anything else that I want to change. We could go down to 2 Lubellion, I agree. And that'll give us room for even like another hand trap. Or we could play triple tack. Let's play triple tack. I like triple tack. Yes, there we are. Alright. We'll do Bystial, Primite, Fiend, Smith. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a pretty quick build section. Usually when I record these build and play videos, the build part tends to go on at least a little bit longer. Usually because I explain interactions, but I mean, this really is engines and hand traps the deck. Even if you're not familiar with like this build specifically, you've probably encountered this style of deck. And even if you've never encountered this deck before, one look at it and I'm pretty sure you can figure out how this plays. One thing I am actually slightly thinking about as we're going into the games here is taking out one of these roars. Me just throwing in like another hand trap or something. Yeah, I like that. I think for only one vanilla, we only need the one roar. If I was playing driver, I'd play the second. Let's see. Let's go here. It doesn't really matter what deck box we use. I mean, especially because we're going into the second stage, our accessories like actually super don't matter at all. But that's not to say I'll never play this deck outside of the event. Okay. Let's see. Wait, actually, it'll more like Bystial, Primite, Fiend. There we go. All right, let's do this. So yeah, yesterday we messed around with Memento a little bit. And got more points than I was expecting to for like not even really trying. Honestly, like I said, I was really just trying to practice more than anything else, but oh, I gotta change my deck, speaking of which. Copy from my deck, yes. And here we are. Alright. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm like kind of thinking about Gamma still because it is really, really good. But I don't know. It's not even just a matter of just space for the Gamma and the driver. But again, I would also want to play the second roar as well. In that regard, you know, the driver, you can almost consider it as much engine as hand trap, but you do still kind of have to play a brick. Okay, we're going second, and unfortunately, despite playing so many hand traps, we really only opened a Druid Swarm here, but maybe that'll be enough for us to push through here. Gotta love having Fiend, Smith, and Paradise in your opening hand. Whatever deck you put this in, it seems to find its way into your hand far more often than not. Okay, our opponent's starting with Harpy Channeler. Whoa, Harpy ladies, was not expecting that. I don't know how much use our Druid Swarm is going to get, but actually, not gonna lie, I'm fairly scared of what they're gonna put up here. so there's Harpy Lady 1. Yeah, opponents probably... Ooh, Dugaras. I was gonna say, they're probably feeling pretty fortunate that I haven't fired off any hand traps yet. Alright, so we're gonna draw 2, discard 1, sure. If we get Featherstorm locked, I'm probably just not gonna show this game, I won't lie. Like, being totally real, I kinda don't want to start it off this way. But, okay, actually, hang on, there's Imseti, so... I feel like we might get some use out of this yet. This Druid Swarm, I mean. Alright, while that's being activated, I'll do this now. Okay, you know what? I don't want to deal with this, so I won't. I'm good. It's not even like, that was only one draw, it's not even that bad, but I was just like, yeah, no, I'm good. You know what? Ugh, that sucks. I hate having to do this, but I think I'm gonna have to, like... I'm trying to figure out how I want to do this now. If I want to start over, if I want to just edit around this. I mean, we already did the build section. Whatever, I'll just edit around this. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, we're going first this time. I say this time because I'm probably not going to show that first game. We got... we got threatened with a Harpy Featherstorm locked and then Max Seed. It just... I don't think it made for good viewing, personally. Alright, this hand's actually just insane. I'm gonna lead with Lubellion and see if they ash it. I don't think you ever ash Lubellion, like, pretty much ever. I'll just take Magnum Hut here. Alright, we activate Roar first, so that way we can special summon. Hippity. Absolutely special summon. Now, I guess we should probably just go for Fiendsmith stuff first, and then see if they have responses, and then if they do, we can just go like, alright, Primite stuff. Can also end on Spheres, or they're just gonna concede. See, I don't really like starting with that either. Alright, that's fine, we'll just keep going. Alright, let's see what we got here. Winning the coin flip. Which, funnily enough, you know, I kind of touched on this earlier in the build section, but this is a deck that you kind of don't care if you win the coin flip or not a lot of the time. I mean, it's, well, okay, we have Lord Reload. I was going to say especially the hand like this, but we do have some action. This is the kind of hand that does make me wish I was playing the Wattail Dragon to be able to go into Spheres here, but it's fine. Alright, now they got past priority not just during our draw phase, but also standby, so I have to imagine they're going to toss out a Max C here. Yeah, they're itching for it. But I'm debating, okay, they're going to Droll. That's completely fine. That's actually way better than getting Max Seed here, because I'm not going to search anymore this turn anyway. Also classic, yep, Fiendsmith in Paradise to lock to our opening hand. We, of course, are going to set the Drill Beam. And then, I mean, there's no reason not to summon out Dippity from deck here. I mean, of course, it'll make our Drill Beam live, so, yeah. Special summon. Does this do anything while set? Target a level 7 or higher Fiendsmith, like, oh, send all other cards out in the graveyard that are not that monster. I mean, I guess there's no reason not to set this, right? Alright, Drill Beam's live, we got a bunch of hand traps, and I don't want to link off Dippity because then, yeah, oh, we're good. Yeah, I don't want to link off Dippity, so then the Drill Beam stays live. No need to shotgun Max C here. Toy Box. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to debate if I'm going to drill beam this when they activate it. I'm only really considering it because I have so many good hand traps in my hand. It doesn't feel necessary. No, this is fine. We'll let them resolve. Toy Box makes me first think of White Forest. I guess it could be... I mean, there are a couple other decks that use the Toy Box engine. Some, like, Forest / Naturia variants make use of it sometimes, I think. I don't know. Anyway, but I'm mainly thinking White Forest. And sure enough, there it is. Okay, so... LZ. Would I rather Maxi or Ash? I'm gonna Ash this, and this is really good hand trap bait. And then if they like call by or cross out this, then I will go for the Maxi. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. They sent the Toy Soldier, which will get special summoned, but it's not gonna be able. Oh no, it will add a level 4 light monster here. Alright, so we're gonna Maxi. And they're just going to concede. And honestly, I was going to say too that definitely makes sense because at this point, they know that like, not only did I resolve the Maxi, but even if when the Toy Soldier resolves, it's going to be able to add Sylvie because Sylvie's level 4 light monster, which they can normal summon, but I still have Drill Beam. I can still banish and negate the Sylvie, which I'm assuming would have just cut them off at that point. But of course, they probably also just... didn't want to play the Maxi here, but yeah, we're just getting things started here. Let's go into the next game. Play, I think, at least a couple more for this video here. Well, again, video for those watching in the future on YouTube, stream for those who are watching live right now. I really need to put something on my overlay that says, hey, I'm in recording mode right now. Just to, like, not to feel like I need to remind people. Not that people are always asking, I just like to keep everyone up to date. Okay, this hand's pretty good. I'm gonna lead with Flubellian again. Because even if they have Droll, I opened Lacrima, so I don't actually, like, super duper need Tract here. Okay. I actually probably should have... it's debatable. Well, I think no, because I have the Lacrima, I think we're good to lead with Flubellian in a situation like this. Murray. Okay, so they've got Valor or Imperm, because they didn't get past... I guess it could be a Bestial monster as well. Because they didn't get past priority until I had a monster on the field. 40 card deck, so it really could be anything. Yeah, I'll just do this for an Engraver. Yeah, and see, notice how they don't get past priority once the Requiem resolves and there's nothing on my field. They're thinking. They were thinking about if they wanted to... Well, I don't know. Maybe. I might be speculating a little bit there. I'm just going to normal summon Lacrima here. We'll send the other Engraver. This is really nice, too, because this plays around Abystial, if that's what they have. Because now I don't actually need the Engraver to start like going into stuff. Off my Fiendsmith engine. This is actually the kind of hand where Lars would have been good. But again, Lars is really only good in these going first win more hands. There's like actually an argument to dump Fiendsmith in Paradise here. Instead of the other Engraver. No, I'll just dump the other Engraver. Alright, yeah, from here, I'm just gonna go into the Requiem. Alright, time to see if it's actually Abystial or if it's Valor or Imperm. Okay, it's Valor. That's fine. That's actually more annoying than it being Abystial here, but... Definitely not the end of the world. Let's see. So, like, I could still bring back Engraver and make SP. Probably just gonna... Actually, you know what? Wait. These only equip to non-links? Yeah, that's a shame. That's fine, though. Okay. I'll put back Flurry. And summon. I can make an Appaloosa here. I'll just do that, I think. Yeah. What am I gonna banish from the graveyard? Oh, I can banish their Veiler. Good. You know, actually, hang on. I could still... I forgot about Track's graveyard effect. I could still make, like, Caesar here. But Appaloosa is probably just better, right? Let me think for a moment. Yeah, I think Appaloosa is probably just better. Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay. I'll take Baldrake here. I actually think that's better than Druid Swarm in this situation. Because if they summon, I can go Regain, Revive Magnum Hunt, and then I can summon Baldrake during their turn, and then I have an out. We'll do the Strain Draw phase too, for sure. Now this, hang on. No, I want to put back Requiem, or Sequence, right? Because then... This summons, okay, you can target one Fiendsmith like monster in your graveyard and shuffle this card into the deck and special summon that monster. Okay, I forgot how this card works for a second. I don't know why I always do with Lacrima. And then during the main phase, we Requiem for Lacrima, dump Paradise. It's 10 pi. That's scary. Okay, so I'm not gonna use this optional effect. No, because I want to Appaloosa and negate you. Chaining Ghost Ogre. Well, that's unfortunate. Can I do anything about that? Not really. Let's do this. Trying to figure out when I want to summon Baldrake. I should probably summon it now, honestly. Because I can banish their Ghost Ogre. Better to summon it sooner rather than later. Or, yeah, sooner rather than later. Okay, they're setting the field spell. I really don't like that at all. Okay, so yep, there goes their Ghost Ogre. Here's Baldrake. You dump Fiendsmith in Paradise. And then we get to draw a card. That's pretty good here. Oh my god, we could draw our own Ghost Ogre. That would go hard right now and pop their field spell when it activates. Yo! Wait! That's crazy! We actually peeled the best card! Holy! Holy! Insano style! That was so good! That was absurd. That was so good. Yeah, you gonna go into Typhon Pass? That sounds about right. Alright, let's go... Okay. That was so good. That was so good. That was such a heart of the cards moment. Oh, that was awesome. Okay, I want to do one more. Let's do one more game before we wrap up recording this video. I'm also saving that duel. Holy. That was like some clear mind right there. I saw the exact card I needed. And my deck gave it to me. That was insane. Alright, going first yet again here. Oh, that was awesome. Alright. Fiendsmith in Paradise in hand yet again. Time marches on, but some things never change. Alright, let's just get Drill Beam. And I'll just get Dippity. And we'll pass. Yeah, Paradise in hand can be very tilting. I definitely don't doubt that, or disagree with that, rather. I mean, I don't need to doubt it. I know it. I've lived it a couple of games already now, but obviously card is still worth playing in a deck like this. But this is, I mean, this is why I don't really play Fiendsmith in Paradise in any Fiendsmith deck aside from, you know, Primite Fiendsmith control, because I think that a lot of the time it's really just not worth it. Yeah, I just think it's pretty niche overall. Raigeki. I don't have, like, destruction protection on, do I? No? Okay. I guess this is fine. Like, well, you know what? Okay, you know what? Hang on. There is actually a reason to do this. If it's Sky Striker, then banishing this Raigeki actually makes their engage, like their Sky Striker spells in general are not live as often. And I mean, to be fair, it's like there's no reason to lose out on the bodies here, right? I mean, there is an argument for letting the Raigeki resolve and just like keeping your bodies, and look at that, it was Sky Striker. Okay, so I am actually glad we Drill Beam that. Alright, Imper Magnum Hood are not the best cards to have against Sky Striker, but yeah, it could be Tempai. It could very easily be Tempai. Okay, we can Imperm the Kagari here. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I mean... I actually kind of don't. You know what? If I think it's Tempai, which I actually do, kind of based on how they're playing, then I should save this Imperm. Because I don't really care about, like, what are they going to do? Grab, like, a Widow Anchor and steal my Ether Barrel? Or, like, I guess they could get the Jamming Waves, but they would need... Or, no, they could get... The one that destroys a monster also pops a spell if they have 3 spells in the yard. But Jamming Waves is the one that pops a spell. Okay, they're going to Droplet for 1 to load up their graveyard with spells. Maybe they don't have Tempai cards, they're trying to draw them. That seems like a desperation play. Okay, there's Afterburners. They will get the pop, the Spell Trap pop now. They're going to target the middle one. Or not target, but they're going to pop the middle one. No, pop this. Oh, yes, they did pop that one. Ooh. Ooh, okay, hang on. We're still cooking here. Okay, so they did summon Shundra. So this is fine. I don't need to imperm them yet. This is also able to be activated during the battle phase, right? Okay. Alright. This activates during the damage step, right? Okay, so I'm just going to do this now. I could do it when they declare an attack, actually. That would have still been fine. But there's not really too... They would have declared an attack with this first, so there's not, like, too much of a difference doing it this way. This gives them a little bit more heads-up information, but I don't think any that really matters. Like, if they have Song and Kaiman for Extender, they just have it, right? Like, there's not really much I do about that. I will save myself some damage here. Actually, wait, I would have to banish my own Dippity to summon this, so... I kind of don't want to... This isn't something from Banish, does it? No. But maybe I'm fine banishing my own Dippity here. It's not necessary. I won't do it. I mean, what am I trying to save myself 1500 damage? Well, the thing is, do I want the end phase search? Yeah. I think this is fine. Also, that is, yeah, it's true that we won't get the barrel recursion without the Dippity in the graveyard as well. So yeah, we're fine there. Alright, now we do have to be mindful that this also activates during our turn. It's if any monster battles, so... Definitely need to keep that in mind. Let me think about how I want to do that. I mean, yeah, let me think about this for a second. So I think we always normal summon Ether Barrel. We could set another Lordly Load. We could Lordly Load to add Roar. Shoot, this is where second Drill Beam... second Drill Beam would go so hard right here. Maybe they'll activate a monster effect and I can activate triple attack and this will just be really easy for me. I would be very surprised if that ended up being the case, though. We do reset Beam. But obviously then I won't be able to activate it this turn, which is a little bit of an issue. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I could just beam their Shundra on their turn, but I'd like to do it on my turn, ideally. Oh wait, you know what? Hang on. Oh, this only summons from deck? Ugh, that sucks. Okay. I think we're still gonna add this, though. Yeah. Okay, let me think about this for a moment. Still a question of well... No, we have to summon Dippity in order for the beam to be alive. Oh, yeah, we wouldn't be able to tribute this. I thought we would be able to summon off Roar from Graveyard because we'd be able to tribute Barrel, but we don't have another normal monster to send from deck. So is this really just... I guess we don't have to summon Dippity for Beam to be alive, because, yeah, we have the Roar. But that doesn't really make summoning Magnum Hut that much better here, because, again, it's not like I can really battle here. I have to Drill Beam the Shundra. Alright, I think I'm going to pass, so I'm just going to revive Dippity first, because there's no reason not to. Oh, we can make a Spheres here. With Ether Barrel. Oh, no, not with Dippity's on a dragon. We could have Magnum Hut into Spheres, that is true. And our Drill Beam would have still been live. This is going to have to be fine. You know what? Okay. We've got Drill Beam for Shundra. We've got Ash Blossom. They didn't have any follow-up plays on their turn. Hopefully this will be enough. Banishing their main tuner does go pretty hard here. It does. I agree, it does a lot. Okay, into the main phase, so we're in battle. I'm just gonna do this now. We don't have to, so I won't. I mean, they know the card in our hand, but... Super Poly! Ugh! Dang, that sucks. Well, that might be fine. We can pop their thing. Does this target? Send one. No, it doesn't. Well, no, because it's the Desiree effect, right? Yeah, well, although the Desiree effect targets. Also, I don't have anything to shuffle, right? So I shouldn't have sent that anyway. Whoops. We could send Engraver, you're right. We'll just do that. Also, yeah, I do see where he could have gone into Moon of Closed Heaven last turn with Barrel plus Magnum Hut and gone into a Fiendsmith stuff. But, okay, it doesn't look like they have much follow-up anyway, so... Okay, we were able to definitely put the control in Primite Fiendsmith control for that game. But, yeah, alright. I think that's going to do it for this this YouTube video. I'll go ahead and show off our deck list one last time before I end things off here. Also, as I mentioned before, might have mentioned before, I don't know what's going to make the final cut, actually, now that I think about it, but want to shout out people who followed and or subbed during the recording. So thank you to Arcane Ape for the sub during the recording of the video here. And again, if you're watching this later on YouTube and you want to get on the live stream action, then make sure that you are either subbed here on YouTube or you follow /sub over on twitch.tv/HexLexLive, because I multi-stream on both platforms. We also just got a follow from War Rex Racer, so thank you very much for that follow as well. But I think that's going to do it for this YouTube video, so if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to move on to our outro. But of course, folks, on stream, we're going to keep going. You were totally fine, Blaze. You were completely fine. No worries at all. So what I do, if you haven't seen, what I do for the YouTube videos is I actually crop out like chat and just the overlay in general. So that's a lot of why I don't always like directly respond to chat, or I don't respond to people by name during the videos to kind of like keep the immersion, I guess, for people watching on YouTube. But yeah, you're totally fine. Totally fine. Mystials are not the play. They're very optional for sure. I think they are really good in this meta personally, but you also don't have to go this hard on them. Like, you could just play Magnum Hut and Jerusalem, and I think that would be completely fine too. It's a phenomenal. Yeah, I do agree, Baku, that we should have gone into Moon of Closed Heaven. I didn't even consider that during that last game, but we end up taking the dub. All right. I think we're gonna do another one of these for Punk. I think we're just gonna go potentially straight into that. Okay. Call by crossout optional in this deck? Yeah, absolutely. I think call by is played in this deck. Actually, I can just bring up Untapped. I still have it open. So call by is played in this deck 48% of the time. Crossout is only played in this deck 18.9% of the time, which definitely makes sense to me. Call by, seeing a lot more play makes sense too, because oh shoot, my carbonated water just exploded. Call by is just like really strong. So, like, it's not just good anti-hand trap tech, it's just a good card in general. Crossout is definitely more specifically anti-hand trap tech. I guess the main argument for playing Crossout in a deck like this is that, I mean, you're playing Primites and Fiendsmith, so against more decks than a lot of others, Crossout could be like a Solemn Judgment type effect in this deck. But then again, that's only really good going first. Like, either way, Crossout isn't really good going second. In a deck like this especially. So, and I mean, this deck doesn't really need Crossout to be good going first, right? A lot of the time your going first hands will naturally just play well into stuff like Maxi or Droll anyway, so. Why even run Roar? Roar is a starter. As mentioned, also you can Lordly load to search for Roar for Dippity to then go into Fiendsmith plays. And the main reason that's good is because if you're not doing Fiendsmith stuff, this deck's turn 1 plays are pretty mediocre. I mean, you saw that last... I think we had a couple of games like this where my turn 1 was normal summon Ether Barrel for Lordly load, or rather it was Lordly load for Ether Barrel, set Drill Beam, and then summon Dippity pass. So actually, I should have gone Lordly load for Roar. And there was one of those games where I didn't open where I should have gone Lordly load for Roar for Dippity for a Fiendsmith combo. That's better than Drill Beam pass. After you search it, you can't summon off of it. Yeah, you can. You activate Lordly load to add the Primite Roar, and then you still don't have monsters on your field. You can't Ether Barrel for Lordly load for Roar, but if you open Lordly load, you can go for Roar and then Dippity for Fiendsmith line. Good level 6 is Xyz to use with the Bestial. Yeah, Lars, which we almost played in this deck. This card is very, very good, specifically for turn 1. We do also play Ptolemy M7, which is more better going second, but can also be used turn 1, potentially. Well, not really turn 1, but it has uses other than just bouncing your opponent's stuff. It can also loop cards that are in your graveyard back to your hand, which occasionally, like, really super matters. Yeah, true. You can also Roar in response to Requiem. If you open, like Engraver plus Lordly load, you can just get an extra body if you need it. M7 recycles hand traps. Yep, totally. Recycle a Maxi. I think the second Roar would be slightly better than the second Drill Beam, but I think it's close. I think it's really close. I think you could make a solid argument for second Drill Beam over second Roar. Well, I wouldn't do second Roar with only one vanilla anyway. If I was playing Driver, then I would definitely consider second Roar, but I don't know. I don't really find myself ever needing a second Drill Beam when I play this deck. I mean, there was that last game where it would have been nice, but it wasn't required. That's the thing with second Drill Beam in my experience. There's a lot of situations like that one where, like, it's nice, but ultimately not super required. But yeah, I would like to have Lars back in this main, or this extra deck, ideally. But, I mean, to be fair, I also don't really play this deck a ton, so I'm not gonna, like, think super duper hard about it, but there are missions. I'm sure did I finish all my event missions? Oh yeah, it literally says complete right there. What do you think the reason for more spells is you have Drill Beam Live more options without needing a vanilla? That's true. I hadn't considered that. That is actually very true. So I can see wanting to double up on Roar and Drill Beam. Can you reveal Drill Beam for Drill Beam? I think it just says Primite card, right? Reveal one Primite card. Oh no, it does say except Drill Beam. Actually, it does say except Drill Beam. I thought the except was for a token, but that clause is in the parentheses. I guess that makes sense, right? If Drill Beam could reveal itself, then you could just, like, jam 3 copies in, like, almost any deck. Like, you could legit just jam, like, 3 Lordly load, 3 Drill Beam into so many decks. That also makes sense why Roar, specifically. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, just imagine a world where you just go, like, where decks just play, like, 3 Lordly load, 3 Drill Beam. You just go activate Lordly load, search Drill Beam, already have one of the other 2 cards in your hand. And then you just have, like, a free Psalm that banishes. That would be so gross. That would be so disgusting. What's up, Coop? It would have just made the Primite engine a lot more splashable than it already is. Okay. Let's record a punk video. Let's do that. All right. As usual for Folks who may not know, when I go into recording mode, I don't directly address chat as much. But if you follow or sub, I will definitely shout you out at the end of the YouTube video. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just get on into it. Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you. I got another build and play. We're going to do Punk again. And even though this is probably coming out about a week after the event has ended, at the time I'm recording this, we are still in the World Championship qualifier for 2025. So the second stage is where we're going to be testing our new Punk build. Not going to waste any more time. Let's get right on into it. All right, so for the Punk cards here, let me just be a little more specific. There we go. All right. Now, of course, we're going to want a full playset of 3 Xehamine and a full playset of Ogre Dance to search them. I like having 3 Rising Scale. You definitely only need 2, but this card is certainly not bad to open with just about any other Punk card, so I'll go ahead and include that here at 3 copies. Also, we'll take a full playset of 3 Foxy Tune, again, for being able to summon the Xehamine out of the deck. So, you know, Xehamine being a 1-card starter for this deck, that's usually where I like to evaluate things as far as, like, the ratios. So, we got the 3 Xehamine for the starters, we got the 3 Foxy Tune to search our starter, we got Ogre Dance also to search our starter, and then while I'm thinking about it, we'll of course come back to Punk cards here in a moment, but we can also play 3 E-Tele to search our 1-card starter. So, there we go. 12 1-card starters is pretty average for current competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks, so that's already looking really good to me. Also like having a full playset of the deck's best extenders, of which Rising Scale is absolutely that. So when it comes to ratios, that is typically how I do it. If I always want to see a card in my opening hand, I play 3 copies of it. If it's a card that's like solid, but I don't need it every time, then I play 2. If it's a card that's specifically in here for part of the combo line and I really don't want to see it in my hand, then I only play 1. So that's true of Sharakusai, that's true of Wagon, it's true of Madam Spider, and it's true of the spell and trap cards that are searched off those, the field spell, and then in my case the Nashiwari Surprise. So I only want 1 copy of each of those. Deer Note is kind of interesting. So Deer Note I typically... Well, for current Punk builds, I typically only play 1. You could play 2, though. This card's actually not that bad to have in your hand, because it does have a way of summoning itself or another Punk card from your hand. So, in that regard, you could play a second copy of Deer Note, and that would be fine. But I'm only going to play 1, because I think I am going to end up playing Fiendsmith again. It is just by far the best way to play Punk. No contest, and... really don't see much reason to not include Fiendsmith. If I was playing like pure, or if I was playing like maybe a Kashira package instead, I might consider the second Deer Note, but as it stands, I'm just gonna have it like this. Now for extra deck cards, we only need 1 Rising Carp, we only need 1 Jam Dragon Drive, and you really only need 1 Amazing Dragon. You could play a second copy, it does come up a decent amount of the time, but I'm just gonna start with 1. Oh, and then, hang on, and we'll scrub our new friend, which is Jam Fever, of course, a very, very good card. Okay, so that's it for Punk stuff. Like I said, I am going to do a Fiendsmith build, so let's put in Lurie, Lacrima, the 2 Engraver, we'll do just a single tract, and of course the extra deck cards, such as Mood, Requiem, Requiem, Sequence, and then our fusion monsters. I'll throw Caesar in here as well. This might end up coming out if we need the space, but I think we'll be fine. Okay. Let's see. So now we can start putting in non-engine. Let's start with the extra deck. We definitely want to play Appaloosa for the Fiendsmith stuff. I like playing SP. Oh no, not Moon. I like playing SP and like literally everything. I definitely want Pep in this deck for sure. And to be totally honest, there's really not a ton of other things that I think you have to play in the extra. Oh, you know what? There is actually Alma Rush. I almost forgot about Alma Rush. So this card is actually vital to your 1-card combo lines. Might not seem like it at a glance necessarily, but the idea here is that if you open Xayamine, you can normal summon it, link it into Almirage, and then banish the linked off Xayamine for the Rising Scale that you searched, and then that's how you get your play started. So you do need Almirage. Last card could really be like any number of extra deck cards. I might try Borreload, because I haven't really summoned to this card yet in this deck much. But at the same time, I kind of want to play Typhoon as well. Just this guy right here. I actually think there's a decent shot this will come up more often than the Borreload, but I'm just going to try the Borreload for now, I think. We could play Baron with a Kashtira package. The thing is, like, playing Cash and Fiendsmith is a little bit much. I mean, we could just play 2 Unicorn, 1 Birth, and not even play a full Cash package, but even then, we're still going to probably need to go to 42 or 43 to do that. I guess I'm not inherently opposed to that idea. Let me see what the rest of this main deck looks like before we make a decisive call on that. We want Call Buys, we want Cross Out. Of course, we want Maxi, Ash Blossoms. I was just trying to figure out for a second if this is a Gamma deck. Not really. I mean, no, not enough. It's not enough of a Gamma deck. You could play Gamma in this deck. It wouldn't be horrible, but I don't think it's so good. Like, you know, stuff like Snake Eye and Yubel make a lot of plays without any monsters on the field. And this does some, but once you get like Xayamine and then Rising Scale online, you're going to have monsters on your field for the rest of the combo line. So yeah, I'm going to pass on Gamma here. I want Nib for sure. I want at least 1 Ghost Ogre for sure, because it's not only searchable off the field spell, but also summonable off of E-Telly. I like playing at least a couple of Imperms and a Veiler. We could do a Droll, and that's 40 right there. I think I'm pretty satisfied with that. Let me look at this for one more second before I make a decisive call here. Let me also pull up Untapped and make sure I'm not forgetting anything vital. I don't think I am, though. Kind of want to play Triple Tack, but I don't want to play a 41st card for it. Actually, how many cards? There is a decent amount of cards that we're not trying to open here, including a bunch of our Punk stuff. So I think I actually will play Triple Tack as a 41st card. Okay, I like this. I'll set the accessories, even though we're not going to see them in the event, and I'm going to jump right on into it. Triple Tack sleeve, definitely wants the Live Twin board, and that's fine. That's a fine 3 cards. Okay. Let's go. Do copy from my Fiendsmith Punk deck. And let's do this. Let us do this. Alright, losing the first coin flip. So, hoping our going second hand looks pretty good here. That's why we play the hand-to-trap ratios that we do. Okay, we got Nib. Can't complain too much about that. You don't only open 1 hand trap. Nib is a pretty solid hand trap to open. Hopefully it's Blue Eyes. Ooh, it might actually be Blue Eyes. I say hopefully it's Blue Eyes because Nib can just solo Blue Eyes right up until their end phase. Or the end of their main phase, rather. Because Blue Eyes isn't really ever going to put up, like, negates on its end board. It's going to end on 2 Spirit Dragon, which is very easily nibbable. Okay, looks like it is going to be Blue Eyes. This is going to be Spirit. Yep. When I see an opponent start with normal summon Ether Barrel, in my mind, it's like there's 2/3 of the time it's Blue Eyes, 1/3 of the time it's Primite Fiendsmith control. That's not like hard and fast numbers, but that's just like ballpark estimate from my general experience. The rest of this hand looks phenomenal for going into our opponent's turn. Zamming, Rising Scale, cross out, triple tack is going to be a very, very nice way to follow up their nibbed end board. Hopefully we'll get to nib them. They could go Spheres mode. Oh, this is interesting. Neo Kaiser Seahorse. Okay, if they link into Spheres, we can still nib them from here. Might toggle off for a second here as they're going into their 5th summon. They're really debating on what they want their 5th summon to be. Okay, actually, it looks like they're going to summon a Baron, so I'm going to nib them as soon as this Magnum Hut comes down. Yep, they get to search, and I'm going to nib. I do not want them to summon Baron here. Alright, so they have 3 cards in hand. We know one of them is Drill Beam. They're about to get a 4th, which will be a Bestial Monster. So they have 2 unknown cards. Sending Maiden. Okay, summoning off Lordly Load. And that lets them summon this, right? Yes, okay, so they will get to end on a Spirit Dragon. Yeah, they do get to end on a Spirit Dragon here, but I think this was unavoidable. I think we had to nib them when we did, otherwise we were just going to get hit with the Baron. 1 Spirit's not that big of a deal. Okay, this is probably Drill Beam. I guess one of these is probably Drill Beam. Which isn't live, thankfully. So, okay, they searched Ether Barrel. That's fine for a follow-up turn. Okay, so we're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 1 to 3 disruptions. That's not a bad draw, actually. Ogre Dance is good Ash bait here, potentially. Alright, let's see what they do in response to this. Nothing. Probably just gonna add another Zamming here, even though I don't need it. This is where a second Deer Note would go pretty hard, actually, but it's fine. Okay. Alright, Zamming F. There's the Drill Beam. Alright. Kind of figured that was going to happen. Did I say Drill Beam wasn't live earlier? I definitely didn't mean that. That was one of those cases where, like, I had it in my head that Drill Beam was live, but I just said it wasn't for some reason. Okay, so we knew that was coming. This is fine, because we can still Rising Scales. This is why Ogre Dance was such a good top deck. The only thing I will say, I'm a little bit... Well, actually, this is fine. Okay. So we can cross out the Imperm. We can triple tack in response to the Spirit Dragon F. And then we'll be forced to negate triple tack with the Ultimate Spirit Dragon F. We know one of the cards in hand is Ether Barrel. So barring the last remaining card in hand being another hand trap, I think we're good from here. Alright, we're gonna summon Shark Husai. Yes. I can even fuse it with the Zamming in hand. So that search wasn't even, like, useless or anything. Alright. Let's see, so... Yeah, Spirit Dragon can stop effects that are activated in the graveyard, so that would be stuff like this Xamine, but this tributes itself from the field, so it activates on the field, even though it is in the graveyard. Either way, we were able to successfully bait out the Spirit Dragon negate. And you know what's funny? is now we force them to actually summon the ultimate Spirit Dragon thanks to Rising Scale F. Yep. Wait, this doesn't target, right? Oh, no, it doesn't. It's when it changes that monster. Okay, so. Alright, so let me go for triple attack. There's that. Okay. This can be targeted, right? Yeah, it just says your opponent cannot banish cards from the graveyard. Ah, I see. Yeah, chat clarifying they meant the fact they wouldn't be able to summon multiple monsters. That is absolutely correct. But I would not have been able to do that. Alright, so we're gonna go for the Jam Dragon Drive here. We'll get a couple of draws and we'll probably summon like... Well, actually, no, we'll go for the Amazing Dragon. We can just bounce their field. Let's go Chain Link 1. It really doesn't matter. If they had Ash, they would have used it already. And then... Yeah, I'll just summon Sharkusai, that's fine. Let's see, I get the special summon right, so we're gonna add Madam Spider to hand. Then we get to draw. There's no reason not to get the draws here. Alright, do we just want to banish the... Yeah, we'll just banish this. And we'll special summon. And F. Do add. And then we get to draw again. Alright, let's make you with you and you. And go this and select another card and you. Nah, we're good. And, yeah, we could just swing in. We could have summoned Pep as well with these two, but we already have enough damage to just swing in. Alright, that's a very, very good example of a punk game right there. Honestly, again, only opened the one hand trap, the one nib, but our opponent was Blue Eyes, so one nib was enough to get us there. There's actually a lot of opponents where one nib is enough to get you there. I'll save that game, that was pretty good. Yeah, Pep gets plenty of time to shine in this deck. Just not that game, unfortunately. Alright, we're going second again. Let's see what we have here. Okay, we got Valor. This hand's actually not bad at all. All things considered. It could have been a lot better, but it could have been a lot worse too. Regained and then Lubellion. Am I gonna Valor Magnum Hut? No, I'm not going to. If I think it's Primite Fiendsmith control, they could still like normal summon Ether Barrel or go into Fiendsmith stuff. If it's branded, they could still normal summon Alibur or just activate Branded Fusion. There's like not really any deck where I think this would be super worth it here. Yeah, okay, it's Fiendsmith control. Okay, now they're trying to figure out what hand trap I have. Little did you know, I was toggling. Okay, am I going to Valor the Lacrima or the Sequence? Does it matter? I'm gonna Valor the Sequence, because if I Valor the Lacrima, they could go into an untargetable, unbattleable over Chaos Angel, which would be really annoying. As opposed to them making, like, what, SP or something off of Requiem plus Magnum Hut? Or Sequence, rather, plus Magnum Hut? Okay, good. Oh, IP? That's interesting. That's not at all what I was expecting. Interesting. They read my Valor and played around it. Well played. Well played, opponent. This is definitely better than, like, just me negating the Sequence for them, even if it's not, like, an optimal inboard. That was well played. That was very well played. Do I want to draw phase E-Telly for Ghost Ogre? Oh, hell yeah, I do. Are you kidding? With IP up? I'll save the other one as an extender. Having Sharkusa in hand is really not ideal. We could summon it from hand if we really have to, though. We simply chain. I'll try to have a call by. Oh, brutal. Devastating. Actually completely fine. They're gonna what? SP, banish my Xayamine. I triple attack, take it. I don't even have to take it. Well, I will if it's an SP, yeah, so it doesn't annoy me later. I triple attack, take it, E-Telly for a Xayamine, and then activate anyway, because I never activated the effect. Seems pretty good to me. Actually, is it because I will still have Sharkusa in my hand, I don't have a normal summon? That's fine, we'll figure it out. Okay, we'll get to summon their Magnum Hut, which is not ideal. God, Regained is such a broken card. They're gonna have Paradise as well. Okay. We could take Requiem off tactics. That's actually, you know, I think we still take Little Knight. Let me think about this for a second. This is fine. Yeah, we don't have to do this yet. I think we have to take Little Knight, because otherwise it'll mess with us if we don't. We're gonna dump Paradise. They could tag out both their things here in response if they wanted to. Yeah, looks like that's what they're doing. Wow, that's actually really bad for me. Wait, I was supposed to chain E-Telly sooner. Oh. Yeah, because then they would have had Paradise in the graveyard yet. Oh, I messed up. Rip. Rip me. Oh, yeah, I screwed up. Unfortunately, it's not fine, because now if I E-Telly for Xamine, they're just going to pop it. If I had E-Tellied sooner, like in response to Lacrima's effect, well, no, not in response to Lacrima's effect, it would have had to be in response to, like, Requiem's effect. I could have specialed Xamine, wouldn't have been popped, I could have searched Rising Scale, that would have been popped by the trap card, but I still would have gotten to resolve the Rising Scale F to summon from deck, which could have gotten me something, you know? Dang, that's... I think I'm actually just going to concede here. I should have activated E-Telly to make them do it, but it's fine. We'll just do one more game real quick. We'll do one more duel for this video. Of course, if you're watching live on stream, we're going to keep going afterward. But yeah, I want one more game. Okay, we got a going first game. Good. I was going to say, give me at least one going first game here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, let's see what we got. Not bad. This is a discard though, right? No, it sends. Send is still fine. Let's start by activating Foxy Tune. I'll probably just send the Lurie. I don't know, actually. I should not have led with Foxy Tune. No, this is fine. No, wait, this specials? Wow, this is actually a really difficult decision. It's probably just the trap card, right? Yeah, it is. I didn't want to send it, but it would be greedy not to. Okay, this is any pump card. Good, that's what I thought. So normally we would add a Rising Scale, but we already have that. So normally I would add Foxy Tune, but we already started with that. So maybe I'll just get Ogre Dance for some flexibility here. Are you gonna droll me? Okay, good. Oh, I should have field spelled. Yeah, oops. Oh well. I don't think we have any way to recycle this. Well, maybe we do. I don't remember. No, we don't. It doesn't matter either way. We don't need the Foxy Tune in the yard. That's interesting. I didn't get to draw off that. Oh, is this not part of... No, it is part of... Oh, that was weird. Alright, whatever. I'll keep the Rising Scale in play. I could fuse with the Ogre Dance in hand. That's not a horrible idea. I'll do it. Oh, not a Psychic. I see. It's only when the tuners activate their effects. Because the tuners are all Psychic. Ooh, that was not a good draw. Actually, no, that wasn't a good draw at all. Well, it's not that big of a deal because we do have the field spell, but that's still pretty far from ideal. Oh, okay, that's actually completely fine. This is like the weird one scenario where that actually doesn't really matter here because I can just do... It actually doesn't matter for multiple reasons too, which is funny. It doesn't matter not only because I can just do this and summon Deer Note this way, but also I wasn't even gonna get any draws off of Madam Spider or Wagon because I already opened with both of my search targets. So that, like, that didn't matter in, like, multiple ways. That was interesting. Also, I could make Borreload this game. No, I need to... Like, if I normal summon Lurie and go into Requiem, and, like, do all that, I'm gonna try it. This might actually be the one or the first, not a one time, but the first time I've actually summoned a Boarload Savage Dragon in this deck. I think Boarload Savage Dragon might actually be better than Jam Dragon Drive here. I guess I do miss out on a draw, but like you could debate that an Omni Negate is better than Ghost Ogre plus a draw here. Right, now I can go... Even chain block all these too. That's cute. Well, you know what? Actually, I think the other board would have been better, because wouldn't the other board have had Jam Fever on top of everything else? So it actually would have been a Monster Negate, a Ghost Ogre, and a draw, instead of an Omni Negate like I'm getting? Okay, that actually might have been better. Are they thinking about something here? Is it Nib? It's Magnum Hut. Okay. Well, that unfortunately sucks for multiple reasons, because I'm figuring out that, yes, the other board was actually better. And now I can't even make the board I was setting up here. Which is unfortunate, but not like the end of the world, I suppose. You know what I could do here, actually? Not that, although that would be funny. But I could just, like, make an SP at some point here. Or even an Apo? I don't think I'll have that many bodies. Oh my god, Druiswarm too? That's disgusting. Okay, well, you know what? Oh, but I won't have any Light Fiends in the graveyard except for the Lacrima? Oh, that's brutal. Okay, that actually is really brutal. Okay. So, I think we just go SP, banish the Druiswarm, and then pass here. And then we can still Amazing Dragon on their turn. Yeah, that's... Because there's no point to making Sequence anymore. So we don't have any Light Fiends in the graveyard. So yeah, I think this ends up being better. Druiswarm. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, I'll make Amazing Dragon on their turn. Even if we had a second one, I don't love making it on my turn here because I just bounce their Bestials back to their hands so they can use them again. Well, that was unfortunate. The thing that was most unfortunate about it is that, like, my little experimentation line, if I just thought about it for, like, 30 more, no, not 30 seconds, it's a long time. If I thought about it for, like, 10 more seconds, I probably would have figured it out, but, oh well. This is why we do science. I hate that drill beam, because it's live. That's really disgusting. Now, this will be interesting, though. Okay, so they want to battle over Sharkusa. They want to negate with Drill Beam. Okay, so we'll go to battle phase. They'll Drill Beam, I'll SP. Could actually just dodge and banish these two. Leave the Magnum Hut. Oh wait, they're gonna let it resolve? No, that's fine too. Oh, they're gonna Drill Beam the Amazing Dragon. Okay, that's fine. Lordly Load can stay on the field. I don't want to bounce it. And then I'll draw a card. Or maybe they're thinking, if I don't activate Drill Beam, they can't chain Little Knight, and I just battle over it. They just want to get rid of it. That would actually be the optimal play here, because then they save Drill Beam for my turn, and I'm like extra screwed. Oh wait, no, duh. Then the bounce resolves, and I keep... Forgot what my... Oh no, but they can still resummon! Oh, I hadn't thought about that. I could still dodge out now, though, and take 2,500 to the face. I think that's worth it. Oh, it's Roar. Oh, okay. Roar for Dippity. Mm-hmm. Okay, I still have Xayamine. Actually, I still have like all my tuners in the deck because I didn't summon any of them. I didn't need to. They don't really do anything still, though. I still have that same problem of them not doing anything here. Could E-Tele for Ghost Ogre, potentially. I don't really see a world where that's gonna, like, get me out of anything, though. I think I need to E-Tele for Xayamine to draw, and... I mean, we'll just see what we top deck, too, for the start of our turn. But we're gonna have to play through Fiendsmith stuff on top of them still having Drill Beam. Yeah, this is probably just gonna be an L here. Pretty much no matter what they do, honestly, this is probably just going to be an L. I kind of don't see a way out of this. Ah, that sucks, too. If I just hadn't pivoted the way I did there into Borreload, I think this would have gone a lot differently. But again, that's why we experiment. So we can grow and learn. And honestly, like, I've said it since I started making videos for this channel, but I don't mind keeping in games like this where I make a misplay, especially if it's a live game like this too, because I feel like that's important. Like, it's not might not be readily obvious to see why that's the case, like up front, but I think it's important not only for like a transparency or honesty standpoint, but like for an education standpoint too, you know? How many did they put back? Oh, okay, it was 3. Yeah, Desiree and Drill Beam, that's going to be brutal. We will have Amazing Dragon and Little Knight. It's not like our field's going to be empty, though. Got the Ognum Day, too. To be expected, it is Fiendsmith control. They put back... Oh, they had to. Okay, they didn't have another Light Fiend in the yard. I was going to say, I was a little surprised they didn't want to keep Requiem. Or I always mix up Requiem and Sequence's names. They might... The Drill Beam might not be live. They don't have an Ether Barrel in hand, do they? Did they search an Ether Barrel during their end phase off of Magnum Hut? Oh, no, it's right there. I knew they had an Ether Barrel. Actually, I don't know if we knew that or not. Because they added Drill Beam off the Lordly Load, I'm pretty sure. Wait, also, doesn't that mean that Drill Beam's not live anymore? Unless they have another Primite / Vanilla monster in hand? Because they can't activate another Lordly Load. You can only activate one of these per turn. Well, you can only use each effect once per turn. I guess they could Lordly Load for just the summon. And then Drill Beam would be live that way. Looks like that's exactly what's going to happen here. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what I could even top deck. I guess triple tack would be really good right now. All right, let's find out. Oh my god, 2 sets. Is it call by / imperm? Oh, and they get the Magnum Hut Search. Can't forget that. Wow, I'm really not optimistic about our odds here, but we're gonna find out. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna do it. Okay. Because, like, even if I tried to go, like, you know, into an early battle phase or something, just the fact that Drill Beam can also negate... The card is... Would you believe if that card was a little broken? Maybe we can make Pep? If I can stick a Pep, that might be enough to do it. The difference in our life points isn't going to be great enough. Ironically, that paying 2,000 off the Roar might actually end up saving them. Although, honestly, not having the field spell really hurts here because, like, that's gonna really... Like, if I had the draw, I'd feel a lot better than I do right now. Okay, they're gonna Drill Beam the Zamine. And honestly, I really don't think I can come back now, because even if I Amazing Dragon to revive... Well, does this banish then negate? Well, okay, I could SP... Actually, hang on, I might still have something I can do here. Oh, I should have picked one of their dudes. Whatever. I should have picked, like, their... Yeah, like their Desiree or something. Okay, but now we definitely just lose. Well, that's unfortunate, but you know what? It's like I said before. We live, we learn, and we move on with our lives. And I think that's going to go ahead and end up doing it for this video. I'll give y'all one more look at the build here. I really like this build. I think this is very solid. I like the 41 with the triple tack. Again, I think we have enough things that we're really not trying to open here that it does end up being worth it. So, okay, I think that's going to go ahead and do it. Oh, we also got a raid here right at the end of our YouTube video. So, SuffK, thank you very much for raiding. Very much appreciate that. Welcome, raiders. Hope you're all doing well. But, yeah, I think... So, the stream's still going to keep going. This is just the ending of this YouTube recording that we're doing here. So, if you're watching on YouTube, we're about to sign off for the outro. But if you want to catch the live streams, again, either sub here on YouTube or twitch.tv/hexlexlive. Follow and or sub over there because I do multi-stream to both platforms. But that'll do it. Let's move on to our outro. Again, unless you're, of course, watching the live stream, I think I might actually do a little bit of a shorter one today. Not like super duper short or anything, but I might only go for like 2.5 hours today. Let me just see where we're at here. Thank you again, SuffK. Let me, hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. Let me give you a shout out here. If I can remember what the exact command is. Yeah, here we go. I know what I'm doing, I promise. But, there we go. Go ahead and give SuffK a follow. SuffK. Alright. So are we just gonna mess around with Memento? Probably? Yeah, I think we're just gonna mess around with Memento a little bit. WCQ climb is... I mean, for my intents and purposes, it's going fine. I'm really not making a serious attempt at it. As you can see, I only have 12,000 points. I think I've only had like 17 wins or something. So not a serious grind at all. I'm just kind of mostly using it to farm some YouTube content. But that's been going very well. I hope your stream went well. You're around the same. Yeah, I don't know. You know, it's funny. I will say this. Seeing myself at like 12,000 points, and I was watching Joshua Schmidt's grind earlier today, and he was at like 36,000. I know there is a lot of difference in that gap, but that did stop and make me think I could probably get up to there if I like really put my nose to the... I mean, that's the thing though. I've never doubted my ability to be able to do this kind of a grind as much as I've doubted what my sanity is gonna look like afterward. Plus, like, I don't know. I don't really want to play that much Yu-Gi-Oh! Listen, I understand the merits to using this to determine Worlds qualifiers. I just kind of wish there was, like, I don't know. I kind of wish there was also, like Challenger Cups, you know? I wish that Challenger Cups would actually be a year-long run thing, you know? And that you could get, like, points for topping a lot of Challenger Cups. Because, I don't know. I have the mindset where, like, I can grind out a tournament season over the course of, like, you know, weeks or months a lot more easily than I can do it all in one weekend. I know a lot of people can really just lock in and bang it out in 3 days and prefer it that way. I'm not one of those kinds of people at all. At all. Quantal's in the top 10. That doesn't surprise me at all. EU Zone has been really close. I can see that. It can get bleak. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of my whole thing is, like, I don't want to hate Yu-Gi-Oh! At the end of the grind, you know? I don't want to end up in a situation where I'm like, alright, now I don't want to upload YouTube videos for the next, like, 2 to 3 weeks, you know? Because I like that, and I value that. And that's the other thing, too, like, if I did qualify for Worlds, it would be worth it. But if I didn't, then it really would not feel like it was. So that's kind of the other thing that I struggle with. But, you know, to each their own. To each their own. I do wish it was a little bit more accessible. Kind of understand the mentality, though, of keeping it the way it is. Either way. I think I'm just going to mess around with Memento for a little bit. Because I like Memento. It is a fun deck. And it's a very good one. And the more you play it, the more you learn. I mean, that's true of any deck, but it's very important for a deck like this. I still haven't summoned Cross Sheep while playing this deck like ever. I wonder if I'm ever going to run into a situation where I'm like, wait, Cross Sheep is useful. I feel like I've already encountered that situation and not known it, though, by this point. I'm feeling like surely that's got to be the case. Do you know when Ryzo or Malice are coming to Master Duel? I do not. I would suspect it would probably be relatively soon. But I do not have information of what happens in the future, unfortunately. It's voiceless. This hand is interesting. Honestly, there are a lot of hands of like 5 Memento cards that are just cracked and insane. This isn't really one of them. So if I had to guess, and this is truly just a guess, I don't have any, you know, inside knowledge or anything. Ryziel and Malice, I would almost guarantee, I would say with 98% certainty that they're going to be in separate selection packs. I would be extremely shocked if they put 2 of the most meta-relevant decks in the same pack. That would be very, very good for, you know, us, of course. I would want that, but I would be shocked if that actually happened. I'm willing to guess that Ryziel will probably come out before Malice, because they probably want to hit Ryziel before Malice. Or they rather, I think they just in general want to hit Ryziel sooner. Because when both decks were at full power, I think Ryziel was pretty clearly the dominant of the two. So I'm also going to predict that Ryziel will have at least one, if not a couple of cards come in semi-limited. So those are my overall predictions for Ryziel and Malice. We could always get more than one pack. So we could, but I think the odds of that are low. And the reason I think the odds of that are low is that they only drop multiple packs in a month a couple of times per year as their schedule permits it. you can kind of track and follow the schedule of which selection packs come out. And the way they break apart like the week differences, that's more than what anything else leads to, in my opinion, there being multiple selection packs in a month. So given that we just had that happen, and here's the thing, I also noticed that they always phase out the second pack with a reprint pack. Because if they kept the trend going, then it would just stack up, right? The gap between the weeks would catch up every year, and then there'd be, you know, 3 selection packs in a month. But they stopped that from happening by removing the other selection pack, by phasing it out with a reprint pack. That way they don't have to replace it with all new stuff. And we just had the reprint pack, so I think we're not going to be getting a second selection pack for probably a few months, if I had to guess. Just based on what I've noticed in trends. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's another one of my guesses there. Do you have any of the Ryuge cards? I do not. I did not pull from the wow, that's an insane top deck. That goes crazy! I can call by the Dynamundo? Can't I? I'm pretty sure I can. And then I just don't have to deal with their board anymore. Oh, but they can negate it with the... Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so that's why they did that play, because they could play around and call by. They even get to summon out the Meteor Burst to stop battle phase effects. That's really cute. That is really cute that some voiceless turn 1 boards can be like, and also fuck you specifically, Tenpai. I like that, that's good. Oh yeah, I think Ryzeal and Malice will absolutely both be out before Christmas. I think there's a pretty good shot Ryzeal is just going to be in the next pack. Oop, no, I want to discard this one. Let's pop the trap card so we don't have to deal with it. I bet they're gonna do... I wouldn't be surprised too if they did like a gap month between Ryzeal and Malice. Next pack will come out whenever the current selection pack ends in the shop. Not the reprint pack, but the one that just came out with like Ryuge and Crystron and stuff. Whatever date that ends on, it'll be like the next day. There's gonna be 0 Ryzeal at Worlds. Yeah, they definitely didn't want to, I think, drop a highly meta-relevant archetype, like... And I think a lot of the reason they don't do that is... I mean, there's multiple reasons, right? One, because they want people to... Because you might think, like, oh, but if they release a highly meta-relevant deck right before Worlds come out, won't a lot of people scramble to buy it? And they don't really need to time it, a release like that, in order to sell a pack with Ryzeal in it. People are just going to buy that pack, like, no matter what. So, by holding off until Worlds ends, not only do you... Like, there's 2 reasons, one of which benefits us, the players, and one of which benefits Konami. The reason that benefits us, the players, is that it actually gives us time to be able to practice with stuff, you know? Dropping a meta-relevant deck like a couple weeks before Worlds gives a lot of people a bunch of stuff to learn. Even if you're a TCG player and like you're already familiar with Ryzeal, like it's gonna play differently going into MD than it would, you know, necessarily in like other formats. Also, the reason that it would benefit Konami to not release Ryzeal is that, you know, let's say somebody hasn't played Master Duel very consistently for the past couple of months. but they want to compete in Worlds, but they need to buy the most recent selection packs in order to get stuff that is released in the time they maybe haven't been playing. So it's not only for it's not only for our benefit in order to be able to, we already have one of these in hand, right? In order to be able to prepare, but also it gives a financial incentive for players to buy into old packs they might otherwise not have. Oh, I should have activated the field spell first. Oh well. Person's being very patient with their negate. When are you gonna use this? So I can't battle low, but I can... I'm just trying to figure out, like... I'm gonna lethal here. Okay, I was gonna say, they're trying to figure out if they want to negate the fusion or not. I don't think I needed that to resolve. Because I have this. Normal or special summon, you fuse right away. I do have the ability to fuse for the Creation King right off the bat. I'm gonna go for it. I'm not gonna activate the field spell yet. Oh, I didn't destroy something on the field anyway, so... Okay, so we're gonna do you. Yeah, I'll just bin a Twin Dragon. Now, the thing that kind of sucks, though... I could give it Piercing. That would be enough, right? Oh yeah, that would definitely be enough. These don't do anything weird when I battle, do they? What is this pendulum effect? No, okay, just ritual spell stuff. Okay, so if I go... Activate to pop to summon... Okay, now let me do this. Doesn't matter. Oh, we have 2 goblins. We'll do one of those. Oh, Soravis. I didn't even think about that. This can stop inherent summons. This can stop... Ah! I should have popped it! Rip. Oh, that was super winnable. Oh, that was such a throw on my part. Why did I think that was only summons from effects? Why did I think that was only summons from effects? Yeah, I should have Creation... Because I was going to Creation King pop anyway. Oh, but I can't target because of the field spell. That actually... Or the continuous spell, rather. That might not have been winnable no matter what. Because I can't target Soravis, right? Because of the barrier. Yeah, okay, that wouldn't have been winnable if that was the case. Stops inherents, but not... Yeah, I know, yeah. I always think it's the other way around. Because most effects that stop special summons stop effects that... Well, I guess it is kind of 50-50, to be fair. Oh Oh, does reading cards help? I'll try that next time. Imperm right off the bat. Haven't even activated the Dark Blade effect yet. I don't even need to do this because I have the horse in hand. Mystery, Wiesna. Alright, we're gonna pop itself. Maybe? Ghost Ogre. That's definitely worth using the Grand to break out. So, let me think about this for a moment. I could Grand Breakout for Goblin. Goblin could send Gaddock and Sleepy. I could still send Witch and Mage off of the Tatsuno effect. Okay, yeah, we'll do it that way. We're gonna send Mace. Yes. I'm gonna use Goblin to send Gaddock plus Sleepy. And then I can Gaddock for Sleepy. Yeah, we'll do it this way. Gaddock. Yes. Sleepy. There it is. I was like, where's Sleepy? I just sent it. I know it's in here somewhere. All right, here we go. You thought that you could stop me because you have hand traps. I'm playing Memento, though. That is really fun, honestly. This deck's sheer ability to just push through hand traps is so good. I will say it's like 75-25 as far as like 75 is just Memento plays that well into stuff. 25% of it is, I will say, is just opponents not hand trapping this deck in the right place. This can still send for cost, right? Is it worth imperming this still? I feel like one imperm does nothing against this deck. So Shadow Squad's going to special summon something from deck. Neptibus is going to add something to hand. I feel like I should imperm whatever they summon off of Shadow Squad. Yeah, I would say the majority of the time you should be... Well, Imperm's not going to stop whatever they summon either, because they can still send for cost. I'm just going to keep waiting. Don't get hand looped. I'll try. But yes, the majority... Like, okay, if you're playing against Memento and you have only one negate, like one Ash, one Valor, one Imperm, etc., etc., I would save it for the Tatsuno Toshigo. Specifically, if your opponent normal summons, if they start with normal summon Darkblade or normal summon Anguish, if they start with normal summon either of those, don't ever use Ash, Valor, or Imperm on those. Just wait for the Tatsuno Toshigo, the horse. Oh yeah, I know they're just gonna banish my Imperm. You know what? How about you just have the wind? Do you have a guide for this deck? I want to learn. I've been considering making one, actually. Now that I feel like I know, at the very least, the basics of this deck pretty well. The thing is, if I do make a guide for Memento, it's going to be a lot different than other combo guides. Like, I'll include combos in it. But here's the thing you gotta know about playing Memento, is that knowing the one card, this is one of the very few decks where knowing the one card combo lines is actually not as important as knowing what card each card does individually. There are a lot of decks where, like, yeah, you can just learn the one card combo line and figure it out from there. This deck is actually kind of hard to do that with. So this hand looks like a brick, but this is actually full combo. Assuming Grand Breakout. Oh, I mean, we have Cross Out, so if they have like Ash Blossom, we can cross it out. Okay, so we're gonna go for the Goblin here. Goblin is actually full combo by itself, which is why I play 3 Grand Breakout to unbreak hands that are exactly like this. So Goblin combo lines can actually go a couple of different ways, just depending on whatever you want to send here. I like sending... Hang on, let me... So normally with Goblin, you would want to send Gaddock plus Sleepy. Or, sorry, Gaddock plus Fusion to be able to make Twin Dragon. But that's assuming you don't have any other Memento cards in your hand. I do, so I can send Gaddock plus Sleepy. That's the other thing that's really weird about comboing with Memento, is that it is often very hand specific what you do. Okay, they're just gonna concede here. That's the thing about like the guides telling you like what cards to send and why. That can be very hand dependent. Like, I think the best way to do a combo guide from, or a guide from Memento in general, would be to go through all of the cards individually and just describe like what their function is, right? Like Darkblade, this is a 1-card starter because it goes into Anguish, which is also a 1-card starter. Because it goes into Tatsuno Toshigo, which is also one of your 1-card starters. But even then, what you foolish off of this is very hand dependent. If you already, especially if you already have a way to fuse, then you can just go ahead and Tatsuno Toshigo to send Gaddock plus Goblin plus Mace. But if you don't, there are a lot of hands where you want to send Gaddock plus Sleepy. Then you go summon Gaddock off its effect, and then Gaddock F adds Sleepy to then go into Twin Dragon. It's a very non-linear, like, it has linear lines, but it's extremely non-linear. And even then, the lines, like, there's almost always 2 different ways you can do a Memento line. And it's less about which is better, because they'll usually probably get you to the same point, and it's more about, like, what do you want to play around versus what do you have to play with in your hand. So, like, the easiest way to show off combo lines for Memento is to be like, okay, if you only have Tatsuno Toshigo and nothing else, or, like, you only have Darkblade and nothing else, right? Like how Moha does the combo lines, which, again, for just about any other deck, that's fine. That's, like, satisfactory. But for this deck, it's not. It's just not. Interesting. They're leading with Tract. I have Ash plus Nib. I could Nib their Fiend's Fist stuff, or I could Ash the Requiem. I could also Ash Lacrima. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to Ash Lacrima. No, I'm going to Ash Requiem, because that leaves them with 0 bodies instead of 1. Alright, they still have their normal summon here. Let's see what they do with it. Nothing. That's fine with me. Alright. We take those. Okay. Also, that last game, there was no need for my opponent to preemptively imperm the Darkblade. I think that they thought that the Darkblade was going to destroy itself as a cost, but it does not. So this dodge here won't let me resolve the Dark Blade effect. Actually, it will. Well, not anymore. Because I could have popped the goblin that I summoned to get this special summon from deck, but... Okay, we'll just pass here then. Interesting that the music changes when you pass turn for the event instead of when you, like, summon an extra deck monster like it usually does. Top deck Ether Barrel. It's pretty bad for me unless it's Blue Eyes. But we know it's not Blue Eyes because I already did Fiend's Fest stuff. Okay, so this is not ideal for me. We can dodge Drill Beam with Grand Breakout. This is gonna depend on what else they play. I'm gonna give you all a little tip right now. If your connection is like this, then you shouldn't be playing in this event. Because, like, you're just not gonna, like, even if you were, like, a pro player, like, this would be such a hindrance to your overall ability to ladder, as far as, like, both time and efficiency. And even though, like, the, you know, disconnect status doesn't really count, like, against the timer, it just in terms of, like, your actual, you know, time, like, in the real world. You only have so much time to ladder. I mean, granted, this person's probably just doing it for fun like I am. I would assume that anybody that's down at the rating where I'm at this point in the grind is probably resigned to not making top cut. I don't know. I mean, it's really not impossible, though, from this point. You would just need a really, really good win rate. It would be very difficult. Or unless you were just an insanely good player, you know? So wait, what did they search? They searched another Ether Barrel. Okay, that's what I thought I saw. So do they already have Drill Beam in hand, or... That must be it. They must already have Drill Beam in hand. That was one of their dead cards that was an engine or a hand trap. That would make sense. They're gonna go Spheres after they smack me for 4,100 here. Okay. Well, whether it's a bounce or a banish, we can... Actually, Spheres doesn't target, does it? Oh, that's a problem. Okay, we'll figure it out. Oh, Drill Beam is going to be alive too. I forgot about Lordly Lodef. Yeah, so we'll have to deal with Spheres and Drill Beam. Okay, so we're going to need to top deck some amount of live plays to deal with all that. Can't do it with just the Goblin and Grand Breakout in our hand here, unfortunately. Wait, they're overlaying. Interesting. Okay. Is it Lars? It is Lars, okay. Well, that's much better than what I thought I was gonna have to. I thought I was gonna have to deal with Spheres plus Drill Beam, like a bounce plus a negate. This is only one negate now. That might matter. That might matter. We'll see. Noctua Beats, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are doing well. So yeah, Goblin by itself is actually enough to go into play. They're already... Oh, they have Drill Beam as well? Live? Oh, their last card was the other Ether Barrel. Right. They added. I forgot about that. Shoot, because now I go Grand Breakout, but now they just negate Grand Breakout. Unfortunate. I wonder if there's any chance... No, because they can just swing... They can just lethal me with what they have on board, right? Alright, I'm just going to concede then. Bang. Alright, let's keep going. Okay. Going second, Maxi and Super Poly. We love seeing that. It's actually really good. We have Hand Trap, Board Breaker, Starter, Starter 2 / Extender, and then Extender. What is this? That's Rate Soft? Okay. I'll preemptively Maxi with this hand. That's fine. Another great top deck right there. I hope it's not actually Kashtira. Oh my god, it is! That's so annoying! You can't Super Poly this deck! Oh, they banished our combined creation? Yeah, you can have it. You can have it. You can have it. If you get that, I don't wanna try. I should have tried playing that out just for the practice. I don't know, it's just like full cash combo is actually hard enough to play through with Memento as is, but having your combined creation banished on top of it is like, that feels unwinnable. It's probably not actually unwinnable, but well, of course it's not unwinnable, but you know what I mean. Another great hand. We have Starter, Starter / Extender, and Extender. So this is why you never hand trap the Anguish, because if they just open the Tatsuno Toshi goes well, they can just summon it. And I do that all the time. All the time. Whenever I open Tatsuno Toshigo plus another starter, I always lead with normal summon the other starter to bait out a hand trap. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Three Anguish, huh? Okay. No, not this deck again. Black. I'm gonna Ash the Dragoon Search. I was on a rank up game to M1, then went back to M5, and now to M3. Oh, that's brutal. Sorry to hear that. I've definitely had my fair share of climbs like that. Oh, that does discard a water monster as a cost, doesn't it? That's really annoying. Huh? Oh, it's Ice Barrier. Atlantean and Ice Barrier in the same deck, huh? They might also just be playing Lancia just to summon Raiho and not be like a dedicated Ice Barrier deck. That'd be really weird if they were. Tributing the Neptibus. Let them add back the Atlantean Dragoons and they have Abystius. You can just have it. You can just have it. Excuse me. Dang, losing so many coin flips. Fine hand for going second, I guess. We have a hand trap, we have Dark Blade to pop it back row. Just discard the Anguish. Okay. Oh, it's the mirror. Okay. So as mentioned before, I'm saving Imperm for the Tatsuno Toshigo. Oh, they added Sleepy. Okay, that's really not good for me. Because it means, yeah, they already have Tatsuno Toshigo. Okay, so one Imperm is now no longer enough to stop them. I wonder where the best point to Imperm them is, though. Is it here? I don't think it matters anymore if I have an Imperm, right? Because if I Imperm this, they can still go Sleepy for Twin Dragon. That's like basically full combo. I guess... Do we have to wait for the Creation King? We could do that. I'm just trying to think, like... Well, let's see what they send here. Well, it's going to be Gaddock, Mace, Goblin, right? It's just Gaddock and Goblin? They already have Mace in their hand? Unfortunately, now they can summon Elf and target protect their stuff. They might not have enough bodies to do that. No, they do. They definitely do. They're going to do Sleepy first. Okay. I might actually Imperm the Sleepy. No, I'm going to Imperm whatever they summon. Oh, they even got rid of their onboard Gaddock. They did have Mace in hand. Why would you get rid of Gaddock here? Do you not want to go into Elf? Maybe they don't play Elf. Some builds don't play Elf. I don't know why you wouldn't. Your extra deck is super free, as is your ability to summon Elf on most boards. Okay, now they can revive Mace and go to the fusion for Twin Dragon. Oh, I can banish the Combined King for the field spell, but this is fine. This still isn't as bad as what their board would have looked like. Especially because now they can't revive Creation King with Combined Creation. Okay, Fusion F is fine. Not that I can really do anything about it either way, but... So, like, what are you getting with Twin Dragon here? Like, what have you not used at this point? I think you would need to add Combined Creation at this point, right? Because you don't really have a way to dump it unless you want to summon a Goblin. Wait, popping the Anguish? You don't want to even pop your Twin Dragon to get more bodies on board? Like, you could still go into, like, IP or SP even if you're not playing Elf here. I didn't know the Twin Dragon was Twin-Head Thunder Dragon. Yes! I think that's a really nice touch that, you know, because they're all retrains of old vanillas, that even one of their fusion monsters is a retrain of an old fusion vanilla. I think that's a really nice touch. Also, why would you add Combined Creation if you are going to summon a Goblin anyway? It's not an easy deck. I get it. That's the answer to this question. This is not an easy deck to play. Oh, we're on old tech. They're still playing the Cranium Burst. You actually don't even need this card anymore. Granted, it's probably gonna wreck me here, but Memento of the Lamp, that would be cool. Yeah, Darkblade is a really cool monster. I'm kind of surprised this hasn't gotten a retrain outside of this Memento card. Cranium Burst isn't bad, but definitely not worth it in MD. I would agree with that assessment. That's exactly true of Cranium Burst. It is not bad, but it is not worth playing. Like, You just don't have room for it, is the thing. You have to play so much engine in Memento as it is that, like, it's very win more as well. Like, every other Memento card is useful in multiple situations except for Cranium Burst, which is only good exactly going first and if you set up your board and don't get hand trapped. Yeah, that's exact. So yeah, Slamster, it is searchable, but Transvamp is also correct that the quick play spells are just better in that they are also disruption during your opponent's turn while not being bricks. That's the real biggest thing about Cranium Burst. It's a huge brick. You never want to see it in your opening hand for any reason ever. Now, again, it's just gonna wreck me here, unfortunately. But not much I can really do. Right on time, Ash Blossom. I guess I could pop it with the Dark Blade, or I could try to anyway. Yep. Honestly, it's not just that it isn't good into Maxi, it's not good into, like, hand traps, period. Like, if you do get stopped... It's not even just that it's not good into... Like, let's say that you do set up your full board. There are a lot of boards where, like, your opponent will go after the combined creation pretty early on. Like, when it goes to summon off its effect, it's not, like, that uncommon for it to get negated at that point, or destroyed, so... I can just have it here. See, this is the kind of situation that tilts me. I don't get upset when I get unlucky. I don't get upset when the other player gets lucky. I don't get upset if I feel like the other person is more skilled than me. It's actually the opposite. When I see the other person not playing optimally, and then they win anyway, that's when I get a little salty, I won't lie to you. Oh, I'm a little salty after that game. I might call it after this duel, honestly. It's less that 43 is a magic number and more that, like, that's kind of what you have to play. Unless you only want to play, like, unless you want to play less grand breakouts. Like, you could get Memento down to 40 cards. Oh my god, is it really Kashtira again? Please at least be tier limit. I will say that this thing I've noticed with Memento, this deck actually has a really bad cash matchup. At least in my experience. Maybe I'm playing it wrong, but, like, most decks, I feel like I can reasonably handle Kashtira, but not this one. Oh, I see. I think it's Snake Eye. There's too many cards you don't want to draw in Memento. There's enough. There's not as many as you might think. Like, what don't I want to open? Mace, Gaddock, Akiran, Combined Creation. That's pretty much it. My Mace opening is actually still fine in some hands, too. So it's really, like... Well, also, Gaddock, while not ideal in the opening hand, you can at least still make plays with some of the time. So, like, you don't want to open Mace or Gaddock, but you can make plays with them. The only two cards that really don't do anything for you in your opening hand are Akiran and Combined Creation. I mean, Combined Creation you can summon from hand, so that's fine, but, like... Horn Dragon? Yeah, Horn Dragon is just optional in general. I've actually been thinking about cutting Horn Dragon. It's like, I don't know. It's nice, but it's not needed. So Fiendsmith is good in Memento. You just have to, like... not like if you open Engraver plus Fiendsmith or plus Memento plays, you just have to not start with the Fiendsmith plays because obviously of Tatsuno Toshigo. And I will say that a lot of Fiendsmith's strength is being able to lead with your Fiendsmith cards. You don't get to do that in this deck, which is a little unfortunate, but... I touched upon this in a video I recorded earlier today. I was going to say earlier in the stream, but that was actually something I recorded off stream. When I was talking about Sprite. I think Memento and Sprite are similar when it comes to Fiendsmith in that you can play Fiendsmith, and while it's certainly not bad, it's pretty optional. Decks like Snake Eye, for example, it doesn't matter if you're playing Azamina or Millennium. You're always playing Fiendsmith and Snake Eye. That's always the most optimal way to play the deck. Same for White Force, same for Yubel. But then you have decks like Sprite and Memento, where like you can play Fiendsmith, and they add stuff to your build and your board. You know, it's not like they're just completely on the side doing their own thing. But the optimized build doesn't necessarily play Fiendsmith, unlike other decks. Yeah, that is true, that at least with Fiendsmith you can start, or in Sprite you can start with Fiendsmith. That is not true in this deck, though, as mentioned. You do, in fact, need to lead with Memento cards. But the thing that makes Memento not bad with Fiendsmith is that there's a lot of situations where once you've started Memento comboing, you do have a couple of extra bodies, and so you could just go into Moon and then pivot into Fiendsmith cards from there. Cool thing about White Force, in the future people cut Fiendsmith. Yes, yeah. Mostly, not only because of the follow-up support, but because Engraver got limited, which will, I imagine will happen here in MD as well. You made Appaloosa too early. You've not made Promethean Princess yet, right? Yeah, we should have made Promethean Princess first. I don't know how our opponent intends to sneak that into the combo line from here, but... Oh, they don't even get to make IP either. Well, no, they do get to make IP. Wait, they can still make Prom Princess. Like, boom, boom. Wait, they're making Doom Dragon? What are they doing? I'm so confused by my opponent right now. Like, yeah, they can go into Photon Lord or Zombie Vamp, but like... Or they could have just set up an actual good end board. Like, they still haven't got... Well, now they're going into Flamberge, but they still haven't made IP. They still haven't made Promethean Princess. They're only just now going into Flamberge. I don't really know how they intend to bow tie this combo line unless you go, like, Flamberge plus Snake Idea Bell into IP. Bring back your two bodies, Prom Princess. I mean, I guess that's the way to do it. But now, don't you not have enough room? No, I mean, here you have room. I mean, towards the end. Like, because they're going to go Boom, Boom, Promethean. Promethean, Revive, Flamberge. Flamberge for IP. I guess they're just going to awkwardly have their Sunlight Wolf here, and that's how they're going to end. I know, we're still going to lose to this unoptimized end board. So basically, they could have made this exact same setup, but this could have been a 4-mat Appaloosa instead of 3. Oh wait, are they going to make SP here? I guess they could do that. But then your IP doesn't have anything to go into. No, they're just still going to make their Fire Link too. Okay. What do you don't have room. What are you doing? Why are you putting Unicorn on your board? Sure. Second fusion, great. I can't believe we're still losing to subpar boards. Oh, this is so frustrating. I don't even want to try. I'm just going to surrender. I think I'm done for today. I was going to end off early, and I'm just like... Blah. After those last two games of losing to the suboptimal Snake Eye player and the suboptimal Memento player. That board was hell. It wasn't even good! It wasn't even good! See, I like Snake Eye. I like playing the deck. I think it's really rewarding. But I do, yeah. It is kind of, I mean, again, that kind of sucks in general when people could play suboptimally and just, like, get away with it. Never punished, but it happens. Whatever, it's all good. Okay. Like I said, I am gonna go ahead and end things off here, I think. We're just gonna stop a little early today. I share a replay. No, I'm sorry, I'm not doing replay redeems at the moment. But we might reintroduce those at some point in the future. You can always feel free to submit it in the Discord to the viewer special if you'd like. Let me go !Discord. And then, yeah, the viewer special submissions channel. I don't know, I'm sure you've submitted there before, Lannister. I'm pretty sure I've seen you there. But, yeah, you can always pop it over there if you want. And, I'm going to be recording that for... Oh, you haven't ever submitted? Really? Wow. So, yeah, if you go over to my Discord server, under the Master Duel section, there's a channel called Viewer Special Submissions. And every Monday on the YouTube channel, I do replays. So you can submit over there. If you've got a specific replay you want me to see, just make sure you leave like the date and the time and or your opponent's name and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I do that every single week. So we do replay reviews. I kind of implied there that we don't do them at all anymore. I just haven't been doing them on stream lately, but we do them every single week on the YouTube channel. So get that in today. I record those on Sunday morning. So if you get it in at some point today, then it might come up for the video this Monday. But thanks everybody for hanging out with me. Super appreciate it. Let me see who's on Twitch that we can give a raid. Who's online right now? Meeps is on. Let's raid Meeps. Ah, Meeps is in the middle of the Meepathon. World first complete Master Pack URs. I saw that was one of his goals. It looks like he's going through with it. So Meeps is going to go for every single UR from the Master Pack, which is like the pack that's got everything in it. So let's go give him some support. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'll see you next time.